Hey everybody, this is Brian Haskins, and on this video I've got a good friend of mine, Alex Youngblood, which you can see right there. We were just on the phone talking about a new report that he's making called 17 Sneaky Wholesale Tricks, and he was kind of going over some of the tricks and telling me kind of what he has going on, and he's got a lot of really cool stuff going on, so I figured that it would be a good idea to maybe make a video for you guys so we can talk about some of these tricks and then show you how you can actually get access to stuff from Alex and check out his 17 Sneaky Wholesale Tricks. So, Alex, can you hear me okay?
I hear you, man. You got me?
Cool. So, like I said, we were just talking about what you got going on. You've got a pretty cool little program that you've started working on. And if you don't mind, can you maybe share some of the tricks that we were just talking about so I can kind of share that with my group?
Yeah, man. I think one of the sneakiest tricks on there is what I like to call the expired wholesaler trick. Now, we've all heard of expired listings, right?
Yep.
Expired listings, you've got people that are already in the sell mode. They're ready to go. They're ready to sell their property. But for some reason or the other on the MLS, they couldn't sell it or they were asking too high or whatever the case may be. Well, I've kind of adapted this same principle and changed it and shifted it towards other wholesalers, because other wholesalers go out there and contract properties. They've got the seller in that selling mode already. The seller wants to get rid of that property, and if the other wholesaler can't find a buyer and close on it, well, the seller's left, back exactly where they were before. So it all goes around that same exact principle of working with somebody that's already in that sell mode. A lot of times we work with people that are not thinking, they're thinking, well, I may want to sell, I may not want to sell. They're in that investigative phase. So, but it works really well when you can get somebody that's already in the point where they know they want to sell, they're ready to go, they're in that mindset. So with an expired wholesaler, it's better than an expired listing because they're already at somewhat of a discounted price. And at that point, if the wholesaler can't close it out for whatever reason, the seller may be in more of a point where they're like, I just $5,000 more off this and I can get rid of it type thing. So it's a really good way to use the leverage, I should say, other wholesalers. So number one, you don't need any marketing money to make this trick work. You just get on as many wholesalers lists as you possibly can in your local area. And there'll be deals coming to you at all times, because if a wholesaler is any good or is even trying, they're going to be emailing their deals out and such. So number one, you get deals without marketing. Number two is you're already going to be dealing with motivated sellers, and even more motivated sellers, because they're really want that property to sell, and for some reason it just won't, because the wholesaler can't get a buyer or just can't make it happen, or whatever the case may be. You come in, and there's a little more to it than just coming in. You have to figure out a strategic way to get in front of these people without being like, well, I noticed that this so-and-so Joe Schmo wholesaler couldn't sell your property. You got to get a little creative, but I talk about that. But once you do and you get it, you're at a point where they're at a discounted price. They just have to come down maybe just a little bit more, and then you can sell that deal and make some money on it. So it's kind of a super sneaky trick.
That's cool, man. That's really interesting. And one of the cool things that you mentioned is that there could be a couple different reasons why maybe that the wholesaler couldn't get that deal sold. Maybe they're new to wholesaling, they don't have a buyer's list. Maybe they just didn't get it in front of the right people. It's not necessarily the fact that the people didn't already come down to a good price. It could be that they just couldn't get it sold. So a lot of them are already be walking into almost like a slam dunk deal to find maybe a different buyer pool that they didn't know about or something like that. So that's a really cool tip. I think that people can use that.
Exactly. It's all about leveraging. Business is all about leverage, and if you can get I mean, the more leads you get, the more, the better chances you're going to have of getting a deal. So when you put yourself in those avenues, it's kind of like skipping way ahead of the curve because you have to negotiate. Number one, you have to market to get deals. Number two, you got to get people to call you. Number three, you got to pre-screen those leads. And number four, you got to get out there and go get it under contract or send them a contract or whatever the case may be. Number five, you got to start marketing out to your buyers list. You've already skipped 4 steps there. You don't have to market to get the deal, number one. You really don't have to negotiate. You really don't have to pre-screen the lead because they're already at a discounted point. And number three, they're already ready to sign a contract. They're already there. Number four, I mean, it's all ready to go to be marketed out. And you just got to make sure that, you examine it and make sure what the real number should be. And if you communicate with that seller, it's going to put you in a lot better position because they're going to say, oh, well, this guy finally knows what he's dealing with. It's almost like, a lot of people do things sometimes out of spite, and it's a terrible thing. Like you may go to a restaurant or something and you get a bad waiter, right? Well, you may never go back to that restaurant again because of that one bad waiter, even though the whole operation was fine. It was just one bad waiter. And you may be thinking in your mind, well, let's say the 2 restaurants were right next to each other. You're like, well, I'm not going over there. I'm going to go here where they really know how to serve food, or where they really have good service. You kind of get that with that type of trick too, because that the homeowner is going to be like, wow, just to screw over Mr. X, the wholesaler over here didn't know what he was doing. I'm going to go with this guy, and I'm going to sell it for $5,000 to $10,000 cheaper. Yeah, I'll show him.
It works in your favor. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It works in your favor big time.
Absolutely.
Cool. So. Well, you also mentioned a really awesome tip that you were talking about a few minutes ago. Can you share one more tip with us before we let them know how they can get some more free videos and stuff like that?
Really, man? You want me to give another tip out?
Come on.
All right. Yeah, we're riding the free boat here. I got you. All right, this one was, what was the one we were talking about here? We were talking about...
Shop and drop, I think.
Shop and drop, yes, that's right. The shop and drop. Okay, that right there is, now you may be in the position of a expired wholesaler at one time or the other. We've all been there. I've been there. I've been in a position where I couldn't sell the property for whatever reason. But I have enough buyers to where I have offers coming in. So, let's say, it could be a difference of $5,000 to $10,000. This could be a trick here where you can make more money on a deal that you're already going to make money on. I've done it that way. Or you could use it to turn a dead deal into a money-making deal. Because some money better than no money. That's one of my employees used to tell me that when I was back in the business. back when I had business. So, but yeah. So what you want to do is you get a deal under contract, and it could be a situation where you're negotiating with a motivated seller, and that for some reason they're just holding on to that number. They really, really want it. And if you just kind of let them go and don't contract it at that price, or you just say, well, I'll let them stew on it, somebody else could come in there and get the contract. But if you tie it up right then and there and have control over the deal and then shop it around or whatever, and you have offers that are coming in lower, what you could do is you go back to the seller and say, listen, I have good news. We can get this thing closed within a week like we had talked about. However, we're going to need the estimate was too much on the repairs, or the values weren't just what I thought they were, and that's the reason for my inspection period in the contract, so I don't get myself in a jam. We can get this done, but I know we had it for 100, but if we can do this for 95, we can get this put behind us and move on down the road. So you could use that to take a deal that you're going to make zero on and make $5,000 or $2,000 or $3,000, or you could use that and take a deal that you're going to make 15 on and make 20. you got to be a little bit ballsy to do that, but
Right.
But it works.
Yeah, there's actually a guy that I know here in the St. Louis market that every single time that he gets a property under contract, he waits till about a week before closing, goes back to the seller and says, look, if we're going to get this deal closed, we need to renegotiate on price. And he always does it. He doesn't always get it, but most of the time he does because the people are to the point where they want to. I mean, I don't do business like that, but it definitely happens and it works. And, I see it every day, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I do too. And I don't like to do it that way really either, but I mean, if it's a deal that's going to be a no deal, then it's something that you've got to do. But to take a deal and turn it into, to make more money on it, I'm not too crazy about doing it that way. But every now and then I get heard.
Right, and if you do it and you decide you want to try it, make sure that you do it inside your inspection period. That way, if for some reason they don't agree, then you're still covered and you're not out of contract to where you can have problems and stuff like that. So, but yeah. I completely agree with you. If you're to the point to where you're not going to make any money on the deal, why not go back and renegotiate? I've had to do it before. I mean, it's definitely something that you use to kind of pull a rabbit out of your hat and almost kind of, just like you said, make money out of something that's not going to even be a deal. So that's a really awesome tip.
Good stuff.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you sharing this stuff. I think if let's go ahead and tell everybody. There's probably a link right below this video. If they want to find out more stuff from you, what are they get? You've got some free stuff that they can get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about that for a second.
Yep,
what kind of free videos can they get?
Well, I kind of did some videos that were based on more of just a basic concept around wholesaling and business in general. A lot of them, or some of the, they're like 5-minute videos, and a lot of them talk about, or one of them in general talks about what you need to do to generate, or how to move past or get to that point where you can actually leave your job, and that's learning how the whole principle of generating cash now. A lot of people are in a position where they're trying to leave their job, but they're trying to do, buy and hold, and they're trying to do some sandwich lease options and things like this. I mean, the whole principle of real estate and generating cash now is what enables somebody to quit their job, is being able to, when you learn the power of being able to create value now instead of 10 to 15 years later. I mean, that's good to be able to generate value 10 to 15 years later when you're in that position. But when you're at the point where you're trying to leave your job, you got to generate cash now and not 3 years later, because 3 years later is not going to pay the bills. I mean, I love it when a seller says, oh, you buy this property for now at this price, in 5 years it's going to be worth so much, and it's going to be a great deal for you. I'm like,
right. Not interested in that, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, you could buy equity, but they say, right, they don't make equities. You can't eat equity. There's no cereal called equity. You can't eat your equity.
That's right.
You
cool. So if anyone wants to check these videos out, make sure just check the link out right below this video. You're going to be able to get a lot of really cool stuff. And you'll also be able to get the opportunity to check out his 17 sneaky wholesale tricks. I hope you enjoyed these 2 sneaks we gave you right now. And again, Alex, I just want to thank you for sharing and giving some really cool content.
Not a problem, brother. Not a problem.
Cool. Well, I will talk to you soon then. All right. Thanks again.
See you, man.
All right. Bye. Cool. You still there?
Yep.
All right. I appreciate it. I think that's going to go good. There was a little lag in the audio just there. I don't know if Uvu or kind of what the deal was, but I think it's going to be fine. Did you think it was all right?
Yeah, I think it was okay. I mean, you mean with us talking and the voice behind it, so kind of like a Godzilla thing?
Yeah, just for a little bit there. I think it might have took a second or two for my voice to get to you. So I noticed there was a couple times where there was a little bit of lag, but I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it looks rendered. If it's really bad, we'll just do it again. No biggie.
Okay. Well, I'll do it and put it up on YouTube.
You're going to do what?
Way, like I said, it'll be I'll probably on my blog. That way it's green. If it does good, so
wow, we're really choppy right now for some reason.
Because I'm radioing Camtasia, it might be taking up a lot of my.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Because I mean, it's the phone that sounds choppy.
Okay. Okay.
What's that?
Down on the email a little bit.
You there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I stopped the Uvu chat because Uvu and then Skype and then also me rendering the video, I think it was taking up a lot of the bandwidth on my internet. So that's probably why we were choppy.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably what it was. Because I didn't hear it like that through the what's it called? Through the
okay.
Through our chat.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I'll go ahead. I'm gonna jump off here. It's rendering now. I'm gonna go ahead and produce the video, and I'll get it posted and see how it looks, and I'll shoot you an email in a little bit and let you know.
Okay, dude.
Sounds good, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.
See ya.